all, I'm incredibly impressed that everyone showed up. Thank you for coming. You are the most amazing people in my life and in many people's lives throughout the country. They just don't know it. So thank you. I don't know about you, but I love the song. I'm letting go already, letting my neck untight. Because if there was a group of people in this universe that needed to transform fear, it's all of us because we're working every single day, hour after hour, to change the discourse and the direction of our country. So thank you for coming. I'm honored to be here with you today. So we're going to get started. I wanted to introduce our wonderful workshop leaders. Karen Roper is, first of all, a lifelong friend of mine, and she has been working her entire career in the mission of teaching people and helping everyone to understand the importance of listening to their body. And she's worked both nationally and internationally. So we're looking forward to her helping us listen to our bodies and transform the way we are facing all the fear and anxiety we're facing each day. Along with her is Sandra Ladley, who is a long-term or lifelong teacher of contemplative psychology, which I just learned today, and of the arts. And she's been working with Karen for over 20 years. So together they have planned a true gift of their teachings and their techniques for helping us traverse this incredible time in our history. So I leave us all in their trusty hands.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Linda. And first off, I want to say two things. One is that I have witnessed since the beginning that the growth and expansion of this organization of CDC. And I I I just want to, give a shout out to you, Linda, for, I remember the beginnings, when you handed me some postcards and said, here. And I said, okay, and then to see how it's grown and expanded, it always just touches my heart. And I so appreciate all of you that have come together. And it's just, as we know, I mean, it's crucial. It's absolutely crucial what what we're all trying, not just trying, but the mission of shifting what's happening. So thank you. And just to start off, whenever I have a group come together, I like to just take a moment and invite you to close your eyes. And just notice, first of all, what happens, just to close your eyes and let the focus become a little more internal. So with those eyes closed, let them rest, let them sink a bit back behind your eyelids. And let your jaw soften. And even as you're sitting there, to just let your attention come down to your feet, to the soles of your feet, to just feel that, our connection to the ground and the earth. And then to allow your breath just to actually bring your awareness just to the movement of your breath. It's that life-giving force, the breath. So just to feel the rise and fall. And we'll just take a brief moment to be in this sweet territory of quiet together. Feeling your muscles begin to soften onto your bones a bit more. And then with your eyes remaining closed for a moment, just let yourself have the sense of inhaling up the back of your spine and letting that breath come up over the top, the crown of your head, and exhaling down the front of your body, having the sense of softening your heart. And then just let an image come to mind that brings a smile. And then once more, inhale up the back of the spine, up over the crown of your head, exhaling down the front body, softening the heart. And again, an image, perhaps the same, or an image that just brings a smile. Noticing what happens in the body. And once more, inhaling up the back of the spine, up over the crown of the head, and exhaling down the front body, softening the heart, and an image that brings a smile. And then before we open our eyes, I invite you to turn away actually from the camera and just then open your eyes and as you open your eyes to your own space, let your eyes land on something that gives you a sense of connection, that touches your heart or gives you a sense of connection in your own space. Noticing again what happens when you bring that intention to your vision. And then when you're ready, just slowly come back to the screen. Yeah. Okay, Sandra, take it away.
Good to meet all of you virtually, see your faces, sharing this sweet territory, as Karen said, together. I'm in Albany and I'm delighted to learn about CTD, commitment to democracy. I've mostly been on the indivisible frequency, so it's nice to widen my perspective to other folks doing things different ways. And interestingly, where my eyes rested when we just did that with Karen was on this sign that I made for a demo that I are the words going in the right way? Yeah. A homemade sign, courage, truth, and community. That's where my eyes rested today. So just a couple reminders. You're well familiar with being on Zoom and community together. Just to reminder to mute if you're not speaking, to take care of yourself as far as, we can get sucked into the visual field and overloaded easily. So to remember to look away a little and come back and come back into your body, not just sort of this screen vortex. But at the same time, it's great to look around and see each other and be in community. Isn't it amazing? Think of what we've been able to accomplish through using Zoom together. It's extraordinary. So if you can stay on camera, that's great because we can sort of co-regulate and be in community. It facilitates that more easily. Linda is recording this for the benefit of others who weren't able to come today, and others, I think she intends to post it on YouTube so that people will find it and associate it, this kind of self-care and embodiment work as part of what commitment, how important that is in conjunction with the activism work that we're doing. So great, just to let you know that. As far as a kind of I'm thinking of going to Las Vegas, a headline over this workshop of like a neon headline, a quote that Karen and I like as far as transforming fear is the purpose of fear is to raise your awareness, not stop your progress. By Steve Maraboli. Again, the purpose of fear is to raise your awareness, not stop your progress. We'll be going just an hour, so we have another 49 minutes. It's just a shorty today, but Karen and I would be delighted to come back again and do more at any other time if that made sense. So I'm just going to be turning it back to Karen then.
Okay. Okay. So I really want to share some things that I have found really helpful in terms of sensing what's going on in my body. One of the things, when Sandra and I were talking about this workshop, I said, you know, it's like we all have our hackles up all the time. And how do we deal with that? You know, hackles, which are often right at the neck there. What happens to our nervous systems? And this is really an invitation to find ways, and I'm sure many of you are already doing many of these things, but to find ways to calm our nervous systems. And they get, you know, myself, I notice when I get caught in the scrolling or watching something on the screen, and I'm getting, my whole body's like this. And so I'm trying to be for myself in the practice of noticing what can I do after I've been scrolling to come back to myself and to see what's going on. So I want to just, if you're comfortable, I invite you all to stand. If not, you can stay in your seats. But the other thing about standing is that we sit an awful lot, and it really is a stress actually reliever to get up and stand. And movement is one of the best ways to relieve stress. So the first thing that I just invite you to do is to begin to let your body shake a little bit. Just to let some shaking come in. You can shake your wrists either way. Just feel. And especially when you've been triggered or your hackles are up, just to, you know, just imagine you're shaking out all that tension. So just keep it going a little longer. Feel it in your shoulders and your elbows, arms. I'm going to move back so you can see more of me. My waist. Just keep shaking. Kick out anything you'd like to kick off as well. Just let that happen. Moving it through your body, shaking. And I suggest, really, I encourage people to shake every day, to just shake and shake your tailbone. Just feel that moving through the body. A little bit longer. And take some big breaths too. And then you can slow it down a bit. Let it slowly subside. And then close your eyes a moment again and just notice what's happened in your body. Notice your breathing. Notice the sense of energy moving, your circulation, the beat of your heart. And then just stay with your eyes closed for a moment longer. And let your body sway a bit and really feel the feet. Let your attention again come to your feet and let your feet soften into the floor. Let your toes soften, let your knees soften a bit. And just let the body sway a bit from side to side. And as you do that, let your jaw relax. Just feel the jaw soften. That's an area that we hold a lot of tension. And to allow the jaw to soften and let your tongue be relaxed in the mouth. These are all ways to calm our nervous system. And then allowing the space between your eyebrows to soften as well. Feeling the breath and the eyes. as I had said earlier, to let them sink back. Just imagine for a moment that there's hammocks behind your eyes, and your eyes can just sink back into those hammocks and relax for a moment and soften. Breathing, calming down. And then just bring one hand to your belly and the other hand over that with your eyes still closed. And let the breath come right into your hands and your belly. This is another, to stop and pause and breathe. It just takes a moment. It just takes a moment. I've been saying this to people for years. It just takes a moment to stop, pause, and breathe. And that resets things. And then, as you're ready, let your eyes open again. And coming back, I want to just show you a few things again that feel good and are really important. If you only do 3 things with your body in one day, it's to move your spine in every direction. In every direction. So just let yourself, and again, if you're sitting, you can play with it sitting, but you're just going to let your spine twist. And as you do that, just relaxing the feet and feeling the length in your body. Just let your spine twist, twist, twist. And the arms can go round and twist. So we're feeling this wonderful twist, twist, twist in the spine. And twist, 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 twist. A few more, twist and twist. What would happen if you smiled when you did it? And twist and twist and twist, twist and twist. And then just let it subside again. And then working the spine, we're going to work the spine rounding and arching. And this also is particularly good for your nervous system. So you're just going to let your arm, I'll turn sideways so you can see a little better. I'm going to open back like this. And then I bring my hands together and I curve, and my elbows together. And I curve my whole spine and bring my head in. And then I come back and I open. Inhale like that. Feel the body fill with the breath and curve. Exhale. And coming up, inhale. Open. Feel your feet and elbows together. Curve. Exhale. And inhale. Feel the tips of your fingers just being in your body. And exhale. And again, inhale. And exhale. We'll do it 2 more times. And inhale, open, and exhale. Once more, inhale, and exhale. And then just let the body come back. Feel the length. Your spine might feel a bit longer. And then the third direction would be side to side. So letting one arm come up, one arm just stretch it down, and you're going to reach, just reach and feel that arc in the body. Reach. These are easy. Come up and reach the other way. So this hand is stretching, a counter stretch, the lower hand, and reach. Yeah, and breathe. Feel that opening there. And come up and the other way. And reach, and come up, and reach, really, and open. And I forgot to say, but please, you do, these are invitations. Everybody is their own authority when it comes to your body. So you do these things in the way that works for you. And up, and over, reach, Breathing into the side. We'll do it once more each side. And reach. And up. And reach. And up. Open and just let the arms flop. And do a little, I call them shakes and wiggles. I call them shiggles. So just let your body shiggle. Now, one of the areas that we hold a lot of tension is right here. So I want to just show you two beautiful exercises or movements for that. One is to just let an arm come here and an arm come there. So it's just up and pat, and up, pat, and up, pat, and up, pat. Just to, there it is. You don't do it gently. It'll feel good. Back and up, pat, and pat, 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 and pat. And then bring your hands together like so. So we warm them up, and then just bring your hands right here and give a little squeeze. Just a nice, gentle squeeze. What I'm hoping, and Sandra and I are hoping, is that this will just inspire you to take the time to listen to what your body's asking for in the midst of your busy days. Nice squeeze and squeeze. Oh. Oh, and then let the hands slide down. And this is also, just do a little tapping all around your chest, because this is an area, and you could do this anytime. This is an area that holds a lot of emotions, fear among them, a lot of tension, and just tapping in here, tapping. Now keep tapping. You can let it for a moment get a little harder and more vigorous. Inhale and hold your breath for a moment and tap. And let your breath go. Soften the tap a little bit. And once more, inhale, hold, tap. Oh, and soften. Out this way too a bit. And then give it a rub. And then from here, we're just going to go like that to kind of let it out. And once more, like that. And then let your arms hang again. Close your eyes for a moment, just to notice what you're experiencing in your body. Feeling the beat of your heart. Ah. And letting the muscles soften onto your bones. Letting the muscles soften onto your bones. I'll say it once more. Letting the muscles soften onto the bones. These are very simple ways to release and soften. Now, some of you may have heard of something called the vagus nerve, and the vagus nerve is what regulates it communicates from the mind to the gut. It's kind of it's all over the body, and all these things help to regulate, or what they say called toning the vagus nerve, and because we get dysregulated. We get dysregulated by all that we're dealing with and all that's going on. So also when it's like we're like this a lot, or we get overwhelmed, it's important to begin the practice of noticing when you're overwhelmed and pausing. Pausing. Sometimes it can be as simple as just bring your hand to your belly and breathe for a moment. As I said earlier, it just takes a moment. Another wonderful way to calm the vagus nerve, which It goes all the way down, but it starts at the back of the neck. Rub your hands together again. And put a hand on your heart. Take a moment just to feel that contact, to actually feel your hand on your heart. And again, letting the jaw go, letting the shoulders drop. We'll come back to the shoulders in a moment. And then bring the other hand behind your neck and place it there, right behind your neck. You know, when we're carrying a newborn, we support them at the back of the neck. So breathing. And just feel that calming effect, the hand on the heart and the hand right there, gently at the back of your neck. Some nice, easy breaths. And this is also a great thing to do when you've been looking, if you're looking down on at your phone, or you're spending a lot of time looking at the screen. Close your eyes and just come back to this for a moment, just for a moment again. Softening the jaw, sensing your feet, again, feeling your feet. And the other thing that I do a lot is sigh. And you're all on mute, so just for a moment, just if it feels good, just let yourself sigh. There's a whole technique that's called the sighing technique, and they've researched what's sighing, and we tend to sigh. We notice we sigh. Once more. Now, there you go. Now, leaving the hand at the back of the neck, take the other hand and just slowly bring it up to your forehead. To your forehead. And just to feel, again, this is another way of regulating. And the comfort that comes just by doing this. Breathing, the jaw is easy. Softening the feet. Quieting our systems. And then you can let that hand go, let the other hand go, give a little shake. Bring one hand to your heart again, another hand over it, and then just 3 strokes from the heart to the belly. So I'm offering you a lot of different ways of just calming, and they're simple and they don't take long. This is another one, from here to here, and up and down, breathing, and up and down. And let the arms go. And I always like to have you just take a moment to check in, just to notice what's happening there in the body. Yeah. I just want to say a word about that practice of inhaling up the back and exhaling down the front and letting a smile come. Or anytime a smile brings more oxytocin to the body. And the oxytocin is the hormone that's the feel-good hormone. So letting ourselves smile, even, when I just let myself smile, I can feel something shift in my body. Just simply that, a smile. And of course, when we offer a smile to someone else, they take it. And when we were just getting on, we were talking with Linda about the notion of co-regulation, and coming together, just as we're doing now, is a way of co-regulating helps. And all of you coming together, doing the work you're doing, helps. I'm sure helps you feel like, okay, I'm working with a group, and coming together with others is so important. The other thing that's really important is taking time every day to step out in nature. Very important. one thing that's been researched a lot is exposure to the sun. And I have a practice where I at least go out with my eyes closed and spend 3 minutes like this, just letting the sun come into me. And that, as I said, there's been a lot of research about the importance of that. One of the things it does is that it creates more serotonin in your body. Just the 3 minutes can do that. And serotonin turns into melatonin at night. And melatonin is what helps us sleep. So again, I invite you to take that time to go out and just take in the sun. Okay, let's do a little shake again. And the shoulders. Let your shoulders come up. And that's another thing. If you notice like this is happening in your shoulders, let them go up a little higher. And then just that. Bring the shoulders up. Let them go. Up. And let them go. Up. And let them go. And then circle. Just gentle circle. Again, it's simple. You've been typing a lot on the keyboard. Loosen up your shoulders. Just circle around. Feel your feet. Soften your jaw. And maybe bring a smile. Now reverse that. And around. And around. And around. And breathe. And then just shake. And a few things just with the fingers also, because we tend to hold a lot right there in the fingers. So just boom, and boom, and boom, and boom. Just feel how you're letting things move through your fingers. And we just, and then shake again. Now, let's take one arm. We're going to bring it forward. This is another one for the shoulders and the whole body. Bring the arm, and I want you to look at your hand as the arm is going to rotate. Look at your hand as though you've never seen it before. Bring the arm up and open to the back. Let the head follow. So you'll feel this also is good for the neck. The head follows. You look all the way to the back. Then the head comes down. You come back up and follow. And up. Feel the tips of your fingers just being in our bodies. And open to the back. And down. Let the head follow you. And up. Look at that hand. And open to the back. And down. And then reverse that. So we're going to go to the back. Look at back. There's nothing forced, but really feel that twist in the body. And up. And down. And again, open to the back. And up. And heads down. And again, last time, open back. And up. And down. And then before we go to the second side, close your eyes again and just see if you notice a difference between the two sides of the body. I often feel very different. And again, this is so simple, so simple. All right, now let's open our eyes and go to the other side, coming up, and open to the back, and down, and up, following. Look at that hand, as though you've never seen it before. Back and down, once more, up, 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 and down, and then reverse. Back, up, down, and back, up, down, And once more, back, up, and down. And then close your eyes again. Let your jaw soften, sense your feet. And just again, notice what's moving through the body. And then again, it feels good. Just let a breath come and, as you see, I tend to sigh a lot. And then I'm going to just offer one last thing. We'll come back to a few of these things at the end, but one last thing before I hand it over to Sandra is with your eyes closed. And if it feels good, you could have a hand on your belly and your heart, or just let them arms hang. As you're there, I invite you to call in a quality that is comforting, soothing to you, that supports you. And it'll come to you. I mean, it can be anything. It's not like, let me see which one's the right one. It'll come. Just letting a quality come in. Maybe it's trust, maybe it's ease, maybe it's peace, whatever. Let that quality come to you. Let that quality just come into you. As you soften your jaw, sway, let your eyes be closed, and just have the sense with your hands, you're gently going to just breathe in that quality to the front of your body. Just breathe it in. What that quality is, breathe it in. And then maybe it's courage. And then to the left of you, breathe that quality in. Sometimes it helps me to even touch the side of my body, or the body side I'm focused on. Breathing that quality in. And then to the back, having the sense that that quality is at your back, has your back. Breathe it in. And then to the right, breathing that quality in to you. And then above you, just breathing that quality, let that quality come in right through the crown of your head, filling your body. Below you, breathe it in through the soles of your feet, softened feet coming up and in. Jaw easy, in. And then just the sense that that quality is within you like that. And then all around you, that you're being buoyed and supported by that quality. So I call on a quality every morning, and I find that just let yourself notice as you go through your day if that quality is around. And there are times when I forget, but when at the end of the day, I come back to the quality, I notice, wow, it's really been there. So I find this a very powerful way of supporting myself into my day. So one more easy breath. And then a little shake. And we'll just take a moment here, and I'm going to pass it on to Sandra.
Hi, Carol. I saw that you raised your hand.
It's that automatic thing that Zoom does when you put your
Oh.
hands up.
Oh, okay. All right.
Thanks for checking in.
Sure. Thank you, Karen. So we
Um,
want to have time to hear from all of you, of course, both what you notice about how you respond to fear and how you're working with fear. And maybe from today, maybe there'll be some things that you want to do a little more of to take care of in relation to yourself and how you experience fear. So we have some time for that at the end, but I'm just going to make a few remarks to sort of the world of fear, the frame of fear as human beings. And apropos of our original thing, the purpose of fear is to raise your awareness, not stop your progress. So the bad news or the truth of the matter is fear is part of our experience for as long as we've been here. It's in our cells. It's coming to us from our ancestors. It's in our DNA. It's part of our survival. You've heard people talk about our reptilian brains. You know, it goes way, way, way back. We fear sickness. We fear aging. We feel dying. We fear death. We fear for our planet. We fear for all beings. We fear for humanity. And, you know, think of all the different ways we're feared. Just reading the newspaper, think fear, you know, it's we're swimming in fear basically. And unfortunately, it's marketed to us. You know, materialism has found that it's profitable to market fear to us, and it's used against us. And we can see the harm that's created from the polarization and things that arise, certainly in the context of what the work that we're doing, activism work, how it escalates, you know, into hatred and divides us. But we can start backing it up. We can start to see the different ways that we each tend to go in relation to fear. Some of us get numb. Some of us get speedy. Some of us get angry. We might go into addiction. Uh, think about, you know, for yourself, where you tend to go, and we can go into different ways, even in kind of an arc, you know. First we're numb and then we're screaming and yelling, whatever. So current trauma literature says that they recently added a fifth to the standard four ways of responding to fear: fight, flight, freeze, fawn, and flop. Fight, flight, freeze, fawn, and flop. It's part of our somatic response, our psychosomatic response to fear. It's wired deeply. We tend to respond. It's there rippling in us and all the time. But the good news, as much as we're swimming in it, we've cultivated a lot of wisdom in how we work with fear. And that has also been passed down to us from our ancestors on a cellular level. And we can see it in the people that we look to as examples, as activists, how to work with fear, how to transform it. That is as much part of our experience as the being hijacked by fear in our very personal ways. And we can tend to forget, like, hey, what do I do? Ah, you know, so what can I call in? So you could see life as a continual journey of noticing and working with fear, moving with fear, practicing with fear. We can train and recognizing when and how we're captured by it, and we can come out of it over and over again. Thomas Hubel um, says fear is fuel. Fear is fuel. Fear, you know, well, what about fear, anxiety? Fear tends to have a particular name or focus, why anxiety is more generalized in our nervous system. Fear, when we have fear, it's like there's an object. We can recognize it as something. And they can have different sensation. So apropos of, you know, Karen just took us on a beloved sequence of working with somatically, with coming into our bodies and noticing what's going on and becoming more attuned. I'm just going to share with you some well-researched methods, different ways of working with fear. And I'm just going to list them. And we're going to send a follow-up note. It's, you know, don't worry, you don't have to get too heady. We're going to send up a follow-up note with reminders. And also Karen and I are going to stay on for 10 minutes after the session is over, if that's okay with Linda, just to be available if you have further questions. So, um, so number one, embodied awareness and attuning, just literally tracking and noticing what am I feeling in my body right now? Becoming more familiar with your somatic responses. Where's it gotcha? Where's it gotcha? Letting it, by bringing attention to it, extending love or care to it, letting ourselves feel it, that allows it to be transformative. So attuning and recognizing our sensations. Another way is integration in body and mind. So things like meditation where we're synchronizing body and mind. We're pausing. We're remembering to take a breath and just look around and be in the environment that we're in and allow some space to come into our feel 360-degree awareness that is holding us. Pausing, attuning to space, breathing. Again, all of this, there's so much research around this now, bringing our attention to our breath, moving, like, standing up. Remember, just stand up. You're in the middle of whatever, you're clutched over Zoom, you're screaming at the latest headlines, you're like this, stand up. Just simply stand up and feel your body, just like we have in our experience going way back, getting knocked down by a wave. I'm knocked down. Okay, I can feel it. I can find the earth underneath me and I can stand up again. I can get knocked down and I can stand up. I can get knocked down and I can stand up. Grounding, literal grounding, going out and being in nature, connecting with the earth, feeling the trees, feeling the wind, the elements, the sun on us, as Karen talked about, grounding in the natural world that we're part of. Shaking. Shaking is really, really, really good. It's a classic way that people work through their trauma experiences, letting when we see that in animals or babies, just shaking, shaking, shaking through it and letting it move through. Co-regulating in community, co-regulating. The whole is greater than the sum of the parts. When we're held together and we're creating a safe container for us together and we're feeling however we're feeling, one of us is feeling wound up, another one's feeling more settled. We're connected. We can help each other soothe and open and feel stronger by being together. So co-regulating our nervous systems through being together. Creativity, one of my personal favorites, expression, art, music, writing, jumping, taking photographs, dancing, singing, expression, the great history of the arts cutting through, in these polarized times. Somehow the arts can cut through us to ourselves, collaging, whatever, and also can cut through to the other side, sharing art experiences. When you're both like ideologically, I think of my sister who is a active Trump supporter and evangelical, but we can share an experience around art that brings us together, that cuts through. Being trauma informed, just that there is a lot of research. So when it appeals to you to learn a little bit more about how we're nervous, how we're wired, and when in doubt, just remember to stand up and pause. Stand up and pause. Pause, take a breath, feel the bigger world that you're part of, the space around you, the natural world. Stand up and shake. We have alternatives besides just doing this. Right? There are alternatives. We can make choices. It's hard to remember, right? When we're in that state, it's really hard to remember. When you just want to, do this, it's hard to remember. Call a friend is another one, that sense of community, remembering we're in community. So, there are a lot of different ways. So it's nice to think there's a big menu of possibilities. And so now we have a little time for a discussion. That's where I'm going to end for today on this. Karen took us through this great sequence. Here's a little frame of the possibilities. Love to hear a little from each of you. If you want to share your name and anything that you've noticed about how you tend to respond to fear, anything, what helps you, anything that you're inspired with. We could just go around if you're up for that, like a minute a person. And if you don't want to, you don't have to. It's an invitation to share and hear from each of us. And you could just tag another person who might like to start.
Noticed you.
Yeah, thank you, Cindy. Thanks for jumping in.
Nice to see you, Cindy.
Yeah, good to see you.
Well, I want to say that, first of all, thank you very much. This was excellent. And I started with literally unable to move my neck. And so now I have this like it's opened up, and all that tension, fear, what, however I label it, I definitely carry it in my shoulders and my neck. And the Karen, the exercises or strategies you took me through, for me personally, it was just, it's gone. It's like it was felt like it was on fire, literally, and it's pretty much gone. And I do find I have to remind myself to do a lot, many of the strategies that you were sharing, although you've shared a lot more than I was aware of, and that was very helpful. Um, I have to remind myself to use them. And when I'm listening to someone who's stressed out or, scared or just doesn't know what to do, and it's so obvious to me, it's like, oh, you need to stop and breathe, or you need to shake, or, but I don't do it myself. So it's like this constant reminder to take the time to do it. So thank you. This is really, really a good reminder, really helpful.
Great.
Thanks, Cindy. Good. Who'd like to go next? Just aware of time a little bit, not to be too rushy, but
I'll
Linda,
jump in.
thank
Welcome
you.
up. Yes. So much like Cindy, this was awesome. Thank you. I plead guilty to not breathing, not getting up from my computer, and not moving. So this was amazing. So I am going to keep this recording and do it every day until it's ingrained in me. So I appreciate that. I did not, like Cindy, have a complete removal of the pain in my neck. However, but I did have an aha moment. I need a massage to get rid of mine's so intense. So yeah, I really felt it. I could feel my body and realize that my body is my friend. So I'm going to stay
Oh,
and make
yeah.
friends with my body.
Beautiful.
And Sandra, I've taken copious notes and I have an idea for a poster I'll be sending you a draft of for how to manage fear. It was
Right. And we're
very
going to send a
nice.
follow-up letter. Great. We can help
Yes.
with refining those bullets.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
I have a really clever, I think clever idea. So anyway, thank you both very much. It was awesome.
Thank you.
Anyone else would?
Yeah.
How about if I tag somebody? I thought that was a good
And
idea.
even if you just say hi, you don't have to say much. It'd be nice
Yeah.
to hear everyone's voice, even for a syllable.
I'm sure Molly Porter has something to say.
Okay, yeah, well, it's always good to be reminded to breathe. That's very important. I also like this whole thing of kind of pounding your chest to get rid of the tension in there. I don't tend to be a class joiner when it comes to any kind of exercise or mindfulness. I swim in the morning or I walk in the morning. I like to kind of go at my own pace, but I think I will take some of these individual things, especially like this, and the breathing. And I have like over the years incorporated 2 or 3 yoga exercises into what I do in my office alone. And I think I'll incorporate 1 or 2 of yours as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll jump in, Nadine. So thank you. I think Molly used the word yoga, and I felt like that whole piece was like, and I don't do yoga, but I'm aware of what some of the pieces of it are, and it felt very relaxing, very tension letting go. And I appreciate that, even though as I'm doing it, I'm thinking, oh, I got to remember this. Oh, I got to remember. And then it's like, no, if there's 2 or 3 things, the spine thing, that was huge. It also reminded me, especially when you said about going outside. I have a girlfriend that I hike with, usually Friday mornings, and it's 6 miles of hiking where we spend the entire time catching up and talking and yes, there's political, but yes, there's family and friends and other things and whatever. And we have to remind ourselves while we're walking, because we're walking usually in really pretty areas like the Lafayette Reservoir, to pick your head up. And we'll literally do, oh, stop, pick your head up and look and
Exactly.
appreciate. And so you're going outside thing, Karen, reminded me of that. So thank you for that tie-in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'll jump in. I'm Tamara, and the part that I liked the best, I guess it was awesome. It was wonderful. I've done this kind of thing before. I have Calm app on my iPad, and I do use it, but not enough. I sat at my computer yesterday for like 8 hours and never stood up, I don't think. But the part that I really liked was the shake it off, and then the looking at something and smiling, basically thinking of something joyful. I thought of my daughter when she was like, I have a video of her when she was like 1, tootling around the house in one of her little cars, and that just popped into my head, and it always makes me laugh. So it's just those kind of things. It's good to remember those.
Yeah.
So thank you.
I'm just going to jump in there because you reminded me of something that we've worked with a lot, which is something called glimmers. And glimmers are the opposite of triggers. So glimmers, I mean, triggers do this to your nervous system, and glimmers do this.
Right.
So it's to begin to notice. Oh, I mean, sometimes a glimmer could be the smell of cut grass, or baking cookies, or but to notice it's to pay attention. Oh,
And
that,
take it in. Take it
yeah,
in.
that just yeah. So thank you, Tamara, for reminding me of that. Yeah. Yeah. Well, our time is almost up. Does anyone else want to say?
Kathy, I see you unmuted. You want to?
Yeah, I'm Kathy. Hi. I was just
Hi.
going to say that I really enjoyed both the physical movement and the mental stimulation around how to deal with fear. When I was doing the physical, I didn't realize how stiff I was today. So it really got me more in tune with what's going on with my body and kind of questioning, well, did I sleep wrong? Or, what's maybe it was Pilates a couple days ago, or, what's happening to make me be so stiff. And I think the movement really helped alleviate some of that. And then the fear tips, I think it's, again, just getting out of the scrolling bubble or whatever you're doing, looking at emails, which we all get a ton of that are, not always very positive, and just, if it's stepping outside or, getting up and standing and doing the stretching, it just is shaking it all off. Yeah, I just feel like I'm just so much more equipped now to manage what's coming at me. So thank you. Appreciate that.
Fantastic, Kathy. And I love your palm tree.
Oh, yeah.
It keeps
Thank
moving.
you.
Thank you. And Leah and Carol, you both unmuted. Who's going to go first?
Go ahead, Leah.
Okay, cool. Thank you. No, I just want to thank you very much for reminding us that, yes, it's as easy as just stretching and shaking it all off. The stress we've been suffering through for the last decade, I will say, has been horrific. So, yes, we need to take the time, and thank you for the reminder.
And it's a way of resourcing, gaining strength. It's a way of gaining strength for the next
next decade.
Whatever we're working on. We have to find ways to take care and cultivate resilience and remember our strength. And how about you, Carol?
I'd love to say thank you to both of you. It was wonderful to be together and to go through the movements and to hear your ideas. And during the movements, I was yawning uncontrollably, which is a great thing, to just bring all that oxygen in. It really caught me off guard, but it was wonderful. And the thing I've been doing lately, playing around with lately, is sound.
Yes.
And using my voice to, make a certain tone that takes care of some of the
Yes.
tension in my head or my muscles, or
Nice.
using a singing bowl to
Yes.
bring, those kinds of things have really
Oh,
helped
yeah.
me lately.
Fantastic.